Welcome to another edition of Meet Us Here. Today, from one of my subscribers, Marion, she wanted us to make her some pork tasso. Pork tasso ham is a Creole dish. It's used in Cajun dishes for jambalaya, a gumbo, that kind of thing. It's very spicy. It comes from the pork shoulder. Even though we call it tasso ham, it comes from the pork shoulder itself. It's a little bit on the fatty side, but it's very heavily seasoned. It's not used for consuming just by itself. You just have to use that just for seasoning, cut up in smaller pieces. Okay, I'm going to combine the white pepper and black pepper. I've got 4 tablespoons of white, 3 tablespoons of black, paprika, and granulated garlic. You always want to use granulated garlic. It has one of the highest concentrations of the flavor. So 3 tablespoons of paprika and 4 tablespoons of garlic. Paprika is used basically just for the color itself. And the creme de la creme is the cayenne pepper. It's really spicy, and that's what you want for this dish. Okay, for the tasso itself, we're going in this direction here, just up into that blade bone. Here we have a pork shoulder butt. Okay, it comes from the shoulder of a hog. And this is where we get our tasso from. And anywhere between 1 and 3 inch chunks is pretty much recommended. So you're going to cut through there. The heavier fat, I always take off the heavier fat too. Okay, it's going to look like that. And this is actually going with the grain. The opposite way would go against the grain and make it tender. This is, like I said, only used for seasonings. The meat in the pork butt has been soaking in the brine for approximately 2 days. Okay, the brine is just consisting of something very simple that you could buy over the counter for yourselves too. It's Morton's Tender Quick. What it does, it just kind of cures the meat and gets inside and get that saltier flavor. After it gets smoked, it'll still be pink on the inside like a ham would be. So it's a little bit firmer now than what it originally was. What we need to do is we need to dry all this off, add our seasonings. We'll put it in the smoker. We'll have to let it set there for a few days. This way the seasoning permeates inside this muscle. Once that smoke flavoring gets through there, you have a jambalaya like you won't believe. And just with a clean cloth towel, I'm going to dab off a lot of this brine that's been on there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into the seasoning. And from the seasoning, we'll put it right on the grates, get it ready for the smoker. It's going to be sitting on these grates for at least 2 days. But my smoker happens to be in a refrigerated area, so it keeps it nice and fresh. What it does, it kind of dries out the meat a bit. Go ahead and coat that inside there like this. Get all the sides. Set it on your grate. Now the Cajun style cooking is a very spicy style. Like I said, this is going to be a little on the salty side. It's going to be very spicy. It's really not to eat by itself alone. It's actually used just for cooking. You really don't want it to touch each other while it's in the smoker. You want that smoke to get all the sides. So give yourself enough gaps. Looks good. Now it's ready to put inside the smoker. We'll come back in 2 days and take care of the rest. And here's the final product. Make sure before you even cut into it, it cools off completely. Because don't forget, it's only used for seasonings, and you're going to use it very sparingly. Okay? When you cut it while it's warm, all the juices will come out, but you want to make sure the juices stay in there, so when you're seasoning your Cajun dish, it's going to make it nice and tasty. Now what you'll be doing is you'll be cutting these in little pieces for seasoning. See how nice and pink it is? I mean, it's been cured all the way through. That extra seasoning on the outside is really going to give it a nice smoky, spicy flavor. Thank you for another edition of Meet Us Here. See you next time.